Christopherson here again with another first listener review. Gonna do a little bit of babbling today about Ron Keel and his new album Keelworld. And the reason I'm doing this one is because there was not a whole heck of a lot coming out this week, and not to like bust on Ron Keel or anything like that, but I didn't plan on doing a review of this one, but after I listened to it and realized it was nothing like I expected it to be, I maybe should do a review just to tell people what this is all about and what to expect, and you know, kind of what my thoughts are on it, as I usually do. So anyway, I'll get right into it. This, like, for me, Keel was like one of these bands that, you know, I liked them. I got all their stuff. I collect everything from Ron Keel. It's kind of what I do. And, you know, I was into them. I remember hearing about Steeler and Yngwie, because they were, you know, the first two in that band, or that was their first bands, I should say. I kind of worded that really weird, but anyway, so that's where Ron Keel came from. Then he formed his own band. You know, it was a heavy metal, you know, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, Gene Simmons produced their first album, or actually it was their second album. So Fight for Rock, I think it was called. And I remember I had Mark Ferrari was in the band. I think Stephen Riley played drums in that one too. And of course all those guys went on to do other things. And a couple big hits. I just remember seeing them on like MTV and Much Music, because a buddy of mine had Much Music, so we used to watch a lot of stuff on there. And so, you know, that's kind of how I got to know him. But then somewhere along the line, after doing a few more albums, it didn't really go too well for Ron. He's done a bunch of stuff. There's like Fair Game, Saber Tiger. He went and they turned country for a while, and he said he had a couple other projects. I think he was in Black Sabbath for just a brief bit. And he's got a Black Sabbath cover band going, which I can't remember the name of, Emerald something. Actually, it's on here. It's Emerald Sabbath. They do a song on here. So anyway, what this album basically is Ron, you know, doing a bunch of new songs with the different projects he's been involved with. So there's some solo stuff, there's some Ron Keel band stuff, Steeler is on here, Iron Horse, his country band, and his Emerald Sabbath is on here doing a couple things. Well, basically one thing, but they got a little intro to one of their songs on here. So wasn't really sure what I was going to get. I thought we were going to get like a mishmash of like different styles, which there is a little bit, but not quite as much as I expected. So just getting right into it, I'm not going to drag this out too long, but the first song on here kind of like, it's him solo. It's kind of like that, I hate to say it because I don't really understand it that well, but bro country. This has like that mid-tempo, you know, really slick production, some programming stuff going on in the background. You know, like you hear on country radio all the time nowadays. It's that new modern style. Not really into that, so I don't understand it so well. But that's what the first song is. And then it does a Ron Keel band song, which is also more country. But then the funny thing is, it's Keel, he is on here. The band doing it's like a southern country-ish type song. A little bit more rockin', but it's still just country. So I thought that was really weird. And then another Ron Keel band song, which obviously is country sounding. And the Steeler one is one that really took me by surprise, because that one's not at all like you would expect Steeler to sound like. I mean, the Keel one wasn't either, but it's kind of like a blues rock upbeat song. Give Me Guitars or Give Me Death is what that one's called. Just thought it was really weird to hear them doing that as a song, so I just did not expect that. And then from this point on, it goes like Ron Keel band, Iron Horse, and then then there's Ronnie Lee Keel, a couple songs, and then a Ron Keel band. All that stuff's all like country. Good, decent songs. I mean, I'm not really into country music myself, but you can hear that they were decent songs, and they have a little bit of tinge of southern rock to them. Then the one that really stands out, like out of nowhere, is their Emerald Sabbath. They do Embryo, and then that goes right into Children of the Grave. Fantastic version of that song. Ronnie sounds great singing in it. The production's great, and then it ends with an acoustic Ron Keel song, The Last Bottle on Earth. It was actually a really good song. I'll give him that. So really weird thing. I don't even know how to explain it. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be, which I guess is good and bad, but it's not my flavor of music, so I'm not really going to critique it that way. I mean, he sounded good singing. Production was good. He's not doing any of the higher, you know, screaming power, you know, powerful vocals, you know, anything high high up there in high register at all. But what he did, he sounds really good. He's got a really strong voice. He's developed a more thick sounding lower register voice nowadays, and it worked well for all these songs. But yeah, it's like I said, that's the reason I'm kind of doing this, is because if you're expecting like to hear a Keel song on here, like an actual Keel song or a Steeler song, or you know, anything along those lines, it's not here. So it's them doing what Ronnie's doing nowadays. He had these guys come on and guest and perform versions of the music he's doing nowadays. So basically that's what you get. Although the Black Sabbath song was really cool. That was heavy. It was kind of like bizarre hearing it mixed in with all of this stuff. it was just, I don't want to say out of place, but it just didn't fit with the style of the rest of the song. So I don't know. That's just basically where I'm at with it. I don't know if I'll ever go back and listen to this again. Not to be like rude to Ronnie or anything like that, but it's just not my thing. But if you're into this, then maybe you enjoy it. There's probably a lot of people out there that like, you know, what he's doing nowadays, and they'll probably really enjoy this album. So if you're one of those people that likes it or doesn't like that style, feel free as always to comment. I welcome anything as long as it's respectful as always. But I always ask, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because even though it's not like my cup of tea, it's still cool to see these guys out there doing it and making music and being creative and enjoying life. So on that note, I think I'm going to end it there, and we will talk to you next time. See ya.